welcome to a new tips of the month video. This month I'm going to be talking about how I do my enamel pins. I'm going to be showing you my process from start to finish. I'm gonna show you how do I sketch my ideas, how do I prepare the artwork to submit to my manufacturer. I'm going to be showing you the proof my manufacturer sent me and the end product. Of course, I'm also gonna give you some tips of how to get the right size pin. So let's start. So the first thing I do is always create a new canvas. It doesn't really matter the size because this is just for sketching and designing the pin. At the end of the day, the manufacturer will send us artwork for the final proof. So it doesn't really matter the size. And for this pin, I'm going to bring one of my old illustrations that I made the past few weeks, and I want to take that as a reference to make a gingerbread house. Why a gingerbread house? Because the winter season is coming, and I know a lot of people like to shop really cute wintry stuff. So I'm going to make a winter themed pin. I really had this idea from last year actually, but because last year I was launching my shop for the first time, I didn't have the chance to make a winter pin. So here I'm just using my old drawing as a reference and then sketching over it, kind of like the elements of a gingerbread house, like the candies. I'm just trying out what works for me and adding some hearts here and there. I really want this to look super charmy and kind of fairy tale looking ish. I'm not sure that I'm going to achieve this, but this is what I was going for. At the end, I really keep in mind to make my design simple enough, because the more complicated the design is, the more expensive the mold is gonna be and the more expensive the pin. So I really try to keep the pins simple and with clean lines and not so fussy or not with a lot of detail for that reason. So a good tip that I can give you is always to bear in mind the size of the line art, because this is going to be working as a reference for our manufacturer to make our mold. If you are into thick lines, then don't hesitate into make thick lines. If you want your pin to have thin lines, so on. So don't forget to always check how your line art is going to be looking, and for that I always recommend to do a test print. So you basically copy paste your design into a sheet, and then you scale it to the size that you want to see how it look like, and then you print it and see if the size is good enough for you. I always do that in different sizes just to decide which one will look better. Last time when I was designing the ice cream pin, I forgot to do a test print, so at the end of the day I went with 1.2 inches, and when all the pins arrived, I love them, of course I love them, but I kind of had the feeling that they were a little bit into the smaller size. So I really regret not doing the test print back then. So I really totally recommend you to do a test print for that, and also to see if you like the line art, if you like the thickness of the lines. That's one of the main reasons I like to do the test prints, for the size and to check the line art. when choosing my colors for my pens, I always go for my normal palette, and I don't really overthink the color schemes because my manufacturer will send me a proof with the most with the closest looking Pantones, so I can check afterwards if I'm happy with that or not. So I'm just trying how it would look like, trying some different color schemes here and there, and I think at the end I was pretty happy with how it turned out. I think I really like the color scheme I choose for it. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to color the line art with metallic color just to give me an idea how my pin is gonna look like. Of course, this is not like super accurate, but it's just to give us an idea, just basically. So here I'm coloring it silver, just to see how it will look like as a silver pin. I'm not really keen on how it looks silver. I think a gold will look better for this design, but anyways I'm gonna try to see how it will look in silver just in case. And now I'm going to check how it will look with gold. Here I'm just trying to find a gold looking color. Sometimes it's a bit hard to find it, but so here we go. So I'm coloring my line art, and I think I really like how it looks in gold enamel. This is a little bit too light. I think this is a little bit too light for the artwork, so I'm gonna try darker. This looks like silver. Yeah, this is better. So I just color the line art, and at the end I choose what kind of pin I want to do, if silver or gold. I could even try rose gold, but I'm not so keen on it. And then to make it like look a little bit more, not realistic, but a little bit more pin like, I always give this little bit of highlights on the line art just to make it give it some shine. And I think it looks a little bit more pin like when it has a little bit of shine on it. So here I'm just giving some highlights to the line art just to see how it will look like as a pin. You can leave this step out, you don't need to do this, but I always do it just because I want to know how it will look like, basically. And I do that also with the other colors of enamel, with the silver, just to see how it will look like with some shine on it. And I really like this step, it's kind of like soothing for me. So this is how it turned out, our design. Now I'm just going to save it and open it in Photoshop to try to find the right Pantones. Sometimes you can just send the colors just the way they are, just like that, and the manufacturer will send you a proof with the closest Pantones. But if you really want to search your own Pantones and take the time for that, you can totally do that. So here I'm just exporting to my computer so I can open it in Photoshop. So here we are in Photoshop now. As you can see, I am using Photoshop to check the Pantone swatches, to check if I have better ones for my pen. Of course, you can go here to your swatches, and then here in the menu, and then choose Pantone Solid Coated, and then OK. And then here you have all the Pantone colors that you can choose from. I take forever to choose my colors for this, but you can send this to your manufacturer just the way it is, and they will take care of the artwork. And now I will show you an example of artwork of proof your manufacturer will send you. So this, you guys, is what your manufacturer will send you. This is an example of the proof that I got from my ice cream pin. So this is what your manufacturer will send you back. They will send you the picture of your pen, your design, and with all the Pantones here that they're going to use for your pen. What you gotta do is to double check if you're happy with the colors or not, or if you already choose colors from the Pantone swatches, then it's totally fine because you already told them what colors you want. But if you just send them the artwork just like that without any Pantone specifications, then they will come back to you with some with the closest colors for your design, and then you just have to approve it, and that's pretty much it. Once that you approve it and once you send the payment, they will send you a proof again of your pen. They will send you like the invoice. My manufacturer, he sends me a sample for me to check it out before they do the mass production. So here's what he sends me. He sent me some pictures of the pen, and this is afterwards when I told them to change the color of the cheeks. So yeah, that's pretty much what the manufacturers do. So this is how the manufacturer sends me the pens in these little baggies. You can see this is how they turned out. I'm pretty happy with them, really love them. They are my favorite pin that I've done. I love them so much. Let me see if I have here I have some badass pin. The process is exactly the same as I told you. You just send your design to the manufacturer. The manufacturer will send you a proof with a proposal of the colors in Pantones, and that's pretty much it. You just have to approve and they will make them for you. And this is how I do my enamel pen. So now, you guys, I'm gonna show you how I do my backing cards. So here's our design all done. I think I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So what I do is that I go here to my designs. I do my cards. Where are my cards? Here. So here is how I make my backing cards. I design them on the size of a postcard. So here are my new ones. And what I do is I just paste them one beside the other. I basically make them in one postcard size, and then I print them out. And here they are. Let me find the new ones. So here are my postcard printed. So there's the design, and here is the postcard already printed. I design both sides, and when I print them, I just cut them in the middle like this, and this is how they turn out. So basically I printed it to postcard size, and afterwards I just cut them in the middle. Then after that, I take one of these thingies to round the corners of the cards for my pens, and that's basically it. From postcard, from design to the card. And that's how I make my pin cards. And if you remember, I have quite a few. And this is the other one that I have. So this is basically how I design them. I make the front and the back in Procreate. Like, you don't even have to go to Photoshop to do this. If you're gonna print it just as a whole card, then this is the size, and if you want to print it as postcards and then cut them in the middle, this is the size that you need. So that's how I do my backing cards, you guys. So that was pretty much it. That's all I do to make enamel pens. I highly recommend that you watch Becky the Pink Samurai one-on-one enamel pen videos because they're super informative and full of tips, and also illustration because she also has some videos about how to make enamel pens. I think she has one or two, I don't remember, but her videos are always super informative, so of course I totally recommend them. I really hope that this tip of the month video was interesting to you, and I really hope that you can start making your own enamel pens soon. If you do, please show me because I will be super happy to see your creations. So thank you so much, you guys, for another month here on Patreon, and I see you next time.